Everybody, so happy to have you with us here for our Champions League post-show. Kate, Thierry, Jamie and Micah. 5-4 the final score in the first leg of this semi-final between PSG and Bayern Munich, played in Paris. We've got the second leg coming up next week, of course, being played in Munich. It was kamikaze, but it was fun to watch. Thierry?
Risks. We've been talking about that we watch a lot of teams that do not take any risk, wingers that don't dribble, people that don't go forward, that are thinking about not losing the game instead of winning it. Well, tonight we have plenty of risks, situation that at times, maybe if you think about, if you have your defensive hat on, you'll go crazy on some stuff that you might see or you saw tonight. But I don't care. You know what? We've been complaining for more than a year or a year and a half or 2 years that football is boring in bracket and whatnot. That game wasn't boring. And again, if you put your professional hat on, we're going to have to analyze some stuff about the goals that were conceded. But you know what? I enjoyed myself, and I think everybody at home enjoyed themselves. It's just crazy. As you said, it does a score you see normally on aggregate at the end of a tie. You saw that. It was just crazy at times.
And we looked at some of my stuff earlier on. Those games were 0-0 and 1-0. But and normally when I see a game like that, I'll be a bit like, the defending's not good enough, or, you know, it's not up to the standard of this level of football. But what I would say is, every attacking player on the pitch there was an 8 or 9 out of a 10. And I think every attacking player got the better of his counterpart. And when I think of the goals, now, because there was so many, I might forget 1 or 2. But it wasn't like there was howlers by the keeper or like someone doing a stupid mistake defensively. It felt like a lot of the goals were like just great goals where you go, oh my God, amazing. Now, every goal you can always look at a little bit and say, oh, he could have been there, he could have done that. But it wasn't like the defenders made a fool of themselves. Have I missed a goal or something? It just felt like every goal for me was like pure quality. It felt like the attacking play was that high that it was almost impossible to stop the goals going in. I don't think there was many howlers.
The 4-2 goal, it's not a howler, but if you don't move, you save it.
Which one?
One where Lema goes with...
Yeah.
You stay in your position, you see the run of Hakimi and you don't let him run. But having said that, I'm with you, Jamie. We've been complaining about boring football. We saw 2 teams that wanted to play each other eye to eye. And it was enjoyable, as much as we can go into details after, and we will, but it was enjoyable at the end of the day.
Let's not forget, last season we looked at PSG and we loved them, and we still love them. And we couldn't stop talking about the 2 fullbacks, right? Hakimi and Mendes. The 2 of them have been taken the absolute cleaners today by Diaz and Elise. Now, so when we're saying, the defending, we're talking about the 2 best fullbacks in the world. They are. No one was close to them last season or times this season, and they're still brilliant. But the 2 players up against them, as I said, tore them apart. And sometimes you've just got to say the attacking play was just out of this world.
I mean, Nuno Mendes didn't train for a very long time or whatever it is, but they both finished with cramps. This is why I wanted to see at the beginning of the game Olise versus Nuno Mendes on and off the ball. Because people always talk about wingers and great players. You need to go up and down. And Michael Olise will make you go up and down. And Nuno Mendes couldn't carry on. He had cramps. Hakimi on the other side, as you said, had cramps. It's not often, even though they didn't train for a little while, 2 weeks on the other side. Hakimi, we all know the issues that he had this year. But to make them finish both with cramps, that tells you how Bayern Munich played and the wingers played.
It had to have been an incredible game to watch live in Paris. Anita and Peter Schmeichel are over there for us. If you remember, we heard from Peter before the game, and he said to us this is going to be a high-scoring game. Here's a clip of what he said.
I mean, they will create a lot of chances, and if the goalkeepers today are not up to it, we could have something like a scoreline of 7-7 or 8-8.
Your pronunciations have been spot on, and now you predict it.
You guys don't record mine. What did I say before the game to you guys? I said 4-4. That can be a 4-4 game.
That's those coaching badges, Peter.
Don't record my stuff. I said 4-4. Okay? Just put it there. Just to put it there. Just to put it there.
You want your flowers, yeah?
Yeah, thank you, please.
Okay, yes. Anywho, Peter and Anita.
Hasn't left TT, but let's talk about the game. Yeah, exactly that, Micah. Thank you for coming to us. What a game it was. It felt like the roof was going to lift off in here. It was hard to think at times. Do you think that was a fair result, given what we saw?
It was, I don't know. Honestly, I do not know if this was a fair result. Anyone could have won this game, and we could have more goals. We talked about defenders before, and I totally agree with you guys. I don't think there was any mistakes made by any defenders at all in this game. Even with this kind of scoreline, the only mistake in the game was a referee giving that penalty right at the halftime. That was the only thing, the only blemish, I think, of this game. I cannot remember having watched a better game ever in my life, live, being in the stadium, and the tempo and how it's shifted from end to end all the time. It was brilliant. And you know, every player that's come in, I've shaken their hands and I've said thank you very much for a great game. And they look at you because obviously they're in a different place. They don't know they've given us this kind of game. But what a game to be here at. It's just unbelievable.
I think it's also worth mentioning that you had a quick word with the man who was leading out the team today, and he described it as a beautiful game himself. Aaron.
Aaron just came past and he said, it's crazy, but it was a beautiful game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, as a coach, as a manager, how do you analyze this? I mean, this is the way they play, and I'm going to say this: it's going to be exactly the same in Munich next week. It's probably going to be TT's 4-4, you know, something like that. It's not my 8-8, but it's going to be high scoring again because these two teams can't play in any other way. It's impossible for them not to attack every time they have the ball, and it was absolutely fantastic to watch.
Yeah, Kate, I thought he was actually going to give us his analysis. You know, you got your coaching bags. I was surprised you weren't going to give us your thoughts on the game. My job is now getting interviews and asking what the hell went on. Why did you give us this game? And actually, the question that you asked before, Kate, who will be the happier? I'm going to ask that to everyone today. Yeah, Kate, well, we'll bring you some interviews very shortly.
All right, sounds good. We'll
Into the studio, Hope.
They could neither confirm nor deny.
That was a big
We don't
pause.
know. We'll see. We'll find out. We're going to go to a break, everybody. Do you want to start?
Oh, my God.
Ousmane, quand même, il y a victoire, donc félicitations. Mais est-ce que t'es vraiment satisfait parce que le 5-2 c'était quand même un peu mieux.
Congratulations for the victory, but are you truly satisfied because 5-2 would have been better?
Oui, bien évidemment, c'était mieux, mais c'est la demi-finale de Ligue des Champions. Il y a deux grandes équipes sur le terrain. Le Bayern, ils sont incroyables. Voilà, ils attaquent, nous aussi on attaque. Donc, il fallait rester concentré quand il y avait 5-2, mais voilà, il y a deux grandes équipes sur le terrain. Tout est possible sur une demi-finale. Donc voilà, il faut rester concentré. On n'est qu'à la mi-temps de cette demi-finale. Et comme je l'ai dit, il y a 15 jours, il faut souffrir pour aller jusqu'en finale.
And we'll do everything that we can to get to the final.
Ousmane, écoute, c'est pas une attaque contre peu importe la philosophie, l'identité, mais nous on regarde ça et de temps en temps on se dit mais il y a 5-2. Il faut tout fermer. Mais c'est pas vraiment le style de la maison.
But that's not the way that you guys play the game.
Mais c'est ça, mais après dans le match, je pense qu'il faut jouer avec la tête, surtout ce genre de match-là. Voilà, c'est les petits détails. Voilà, on a pris le 5-3, ça nous a mis un petit coup dans la tête, mais voilà, il faut rester concentré. On sait que ça va être difficile à Munich, donc on va essayer d'aller gagner là-bas encore.
Sinon, un petit truc hors match. La bataille d'Evreux n'est pas finie.
La bataille de quoi?
Non, elle n'est pas finie, elle est qu'à la mi-temps, donc il a marqué, j'ai marqué, donc voilà, je lui dis à la semaine prochaine.
Thierry, explain that to the viewers just one second.
No, it's because Upamecano and Ousmane Dembele are from the same town and they're proud of their town, and I think the whole neighborhood was in the stadium, so I said the battle is not over. He said, yeah, he scored, I scored. I'll see him in Munich.
Anybody else?
I can't speak French.
I'll translate. Oh, no, Thierry will translate for you.
This for us was one of the greatest games, you know, we've ever seen. And I said before, Ousmane, that I don't think I've ever seen so many attacking players on the pitch perform at their absolute best, you know, for you, including you, and also for Bayern Munich.
Je vais traduire. T'as compris ou pas? Ou je traduis?
Un peu.
Écoute, c'est Jamie. Jamie, il a dit qu'il avait jamais vu.
Il a l'accent de Liverpool.
Ouais, mais je vais traduire. Il a dit qu'il avait jamais vu deux équipes comme ça. Tous les attaquants de votre côté et les attaquants de l'autre côté ont vraiment été performants. Il a dit que c'est la première fois qu'il avait vu ça dans sa vie. Qu'est-ce que t'en penses?
Ouais, c'est ça. Deux équipes, comme je l'ai dit, qui attaquent, que ce soit les attaquants, les milieux de terrain ou bien les latéraux, tout le monde attaque. Voilà, ça donne un match spectaculaire. C'est magnifique pour vous, les téléspectateurs, mais il faut beaucoup d'énergie pour nous. Non, ça a été un match exceptionnel. Voilà, on s'attend à la même chose à Munich.
En tout cas, franchement, merci, parce que de temps en temps, c'est pas facile à regarder les matchs, mais là, vous nous avez régalé. Merci.
Merci à vous. J'espère à la semaine prochaine avec le sourire.
Ah, j'espère pour toi.
Okay, TT, I'm going to try, ask him something in bonjour.
Micah va te parler en français.
Excuse-moi. Les joueurs seraient-ils aux bons la semaine prochaine? Non?
Dis-lui.
Let it be.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, what was that?
It's okay, Micah.
Will the game be as good next week?
Est-ce que le match sera aussi bien la semaine prochaine?
Prochaine, yes.
Je l'espère avec une victoire de notre part, mais voilà, les deux équipes vont attaquer. Et voilà, j'espère que ça va donner encore un match spectaculaire. Et voilà, que du plaisir pour nous et pour vous surtout.
That's just a pleasure for us and a pleasure for you guys too.
How do you have so much energy? The way you press, you play one wing on the right, on the left, central. What are you eating for dinner? I want to know, please.
Il veut savoir ce que tu manges parce qu'il a dit que tu as trop d'énergie.
Non, c'est simple. Si tu presses pas, si tu défends pas, Luis Enrique va te mettre sur le banc.
Oh, ok.
C'est juste ça.
If you don't press, if you don't run.
Luis Enrique put you on the bench. Merci.
Merci à vous. Merci.
All right, let's get into brilliant highlights now to bring you. Remember, 5-4, the final score of the first leg, so at the halfway point of this tie between PSG and Bayern. Second leg to come in Munich. On average, a goal every 10 minutes, by the way. That means 90 minutes, 9 goals. Incredible.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
That's Sealy, Emmy. She's definitely getting the Emmy now.
Oh, God. I'm just sharing thoughts, everybody. Anyway.
You can take the girl out of Manchester.
Anyways.
Wowzer.
So, should we get to the highlights? Let's do it. So, Bayern Munich with the penalty early on. The penalty incident. Do you want to start with this, Jamie?
I mean, it was, to be honest, I didn't think it was a certain penalty, but listen, it probably is a penalty. But initially when I looked at it, I thought Luis Diaz almost was clever with it, if you like, made sure he got the contact. But I suppose when you dive in as a defender, it's going to be a penalty, isn't it? It's that man, Harry Kane. You never fancy him to not put that ball in the back of the net. Always has that run up, waits for the goalkeeper, very rarely misses. And what a run he's on in this competition.
Wow. And then Michael is at the chance. You can see here Bayern Munich getting the ball back. Harry Kane is on the ball, giving the ball to Michael Olise. He had the chance to make it 2-0, but Safanov didn't want that to happen, as you can see here. And the ball was almost set on the line after that. I don't know if the ball was going in. I mean, he didn't place that pretty well, and the goalkeeper saved it. And then, there was some mistakes, guys. There was some mistakes. And then Dembele didn't take the opportunity to finish that on the ball lost by Bayern Munich.
Wow. And then who steps up, Kate? My man. Who did I do before the game? My man. Kvaratskhelia. Look at him. You go both ways. You think he's going to go to the left? Oopsie. No, I'm going to go the other way and bend it into that far corner. He's my favourite winger in Europe at the moment. Apart from Yamal, Olise, Mbappe. But he's up there, my favourite for top goal.
But then this man, Olise, I just don't know what to keep saying to him. He's absolutely taken the best left-back in the world for the last few years. The absolute cleaners, goes past Marquinhos, almost gets an own goal. He's been absolutely unbelievable. You think of the attacking players on show here against Real Madrid last time out, and he's been head and shoulders above them all. But 60 seconds later, Neves, who I think almost scored an own goal at one end, puts it in and puts them 2-1 up after Bayern Munich had made a brilliant start to the game.
Oh. And then another chance on the counter. Desiree Doué is going to have it here. Whoops. Control the ball. It was always...
What do you do wrong there, TT?
Well, it's not an easy one to keep it low, but he hits it with the inside of his foot. It would have been a tiny bit better with his laces. And then Michael Olise receiving the ball right in the middle of the Paris Saint-Germain's team. And then he had only one idea, is to go and score. Safanov trying to anticipate him opening his foot. He curved it last minute. Goalkeeper gets done.
But then the one blemish on the night was this decision to give a penalty. Dembele trying to cross the ball. Oh, it's Davis. Takes a deflection onto his arm. Even if it doesn't take the deflection, it's not handball for me. The fact that it's his thigh in his hand is just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just almost thankful that there was so many goals after it, that it wasn't just finish on that goal. But the thought that something like that could happen in the final and cost someone the Champions League is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
Overall, like Jamie said, great half of football. Let's dial into that, the penalty incident in a second. Are you guys all on the same page as Jamie? Just think it wasn't a penalty?
We're going to call common sense?
Oh, yeah, I think we're all in agreement.
Just me. I thought I'll go back to my thing. The referee blew the whistle for a pen.
No, but it's not that it's not a penalty. It's that it's such a bad decision. Sometimes we don't agree with a decision and we think a referee got it wrong. It's not an easy job. That is so bad. And games at this level can't be decided like that. And as I said, I'm just thankful there was more goals in the game and almost not forget about it, but, you know, the second half sort of lived up to it, sort of billing, as we saw in the first half as well. But it was a shocking decision.
We're not getting Christina on? No?
I don't think Christina wants
just
to
put the
come
phone
on.
down.
She's all right, should we get some more chances?
She's done with us.
Let's go with because Lima had a chance, didn't he?
Let's talk about the games.
Yeah, he come on, didn't he, at half-time for Alphonso Davies. I thought he was going to stay back, but he was getting forward, in fairness to him, makes that inside run and just comes off his left foot there. Can't get the connection he desired at the time. And then, Thierry...
Yes. Again, Vitinha passing that ball. That's the one I was talking about, and we're going to analyze it after. I think that's the only mistake you can call. That's a raw mistake for me. We will talk about it. But pass from Vitinha. Hakimi went forward. You can see here, both players, I think Dembele lets it go. Huh?
Yeah.
And then Kvaratskhelia is the target. Neuer goes the other way. 4-2 Paris Saint-Germain.
And then Dembele. I mean, how are Bayern so open? You know, I did talk about it before the game, but in terms of this here now, look at the run from Doué. And then Dembele can go both ways. He decides to go on his right foot. And then Neuer is just marginally onside, I would say there. Well, obviously he was, because I didn't get it back. But the goalkeeper near post, through his legs. Unlucky.
Oh, wow.
It was unlucky, wasn't it? Unlucky.
At this point, when they had a lead like this, could PSG have taken a different approach? Should they maybe have taken a different approach and been more cautious in the way they played the game?
I just think it's difficult. I don't think PSG necessarily... I might be wrong because there's that many goals. We're getting caught on the counter-attack, but we felt as soon as it went 4-2 and 5-2... Sorry, go back to 3-2. I think we were saying in here, Bayern Munich have to make sure when they go to the next leg, they're not behind by 2 goals. So you're thinking, so Bayern almost play a little bit cagey. When it goes 4-2 and 5-2, they've got no option. They have to just keep going and getting goals. And, you know, they got them. So I don't think they got... One was a set piece, wasn't it? And listen, one was an unbelievable goal. Unbelievable by, you know, the pass from Kane and Diaz. And that's why I keep going back to. I think the attack and play that we saw tonight was probably of the highest quality probably I've ever seen in a game from both teams. I've never seen quality as good as that, where every attacking player on the pitch got the better of the guy he was up against. That's what it felt like.
Would you also say, because to be able to do that, the 2 fullbacks from both teams were always forward, helping, also making moves. So they were not often in, they were not often in 1v1. Hakimi was going forward, Mendes was going forward. So therefore, that's why you had a lot of counters also in the game.
So you as a coach, would you be screaming at your players to stay in shape there or not? Because
But I will be honest with you, it doesn't matter what I think, because those guys will not change what they do. And at the end of the day, that's how they coach their team. We can be sitting here and talk about what we would have liked to see, and we all said it here. When he went to 3-2, let's all be honest, we all went, why am I still going forward? Try to stay with the 3-2. Yeah. And he went forward and nearly scored when we said that. So that's how the two coaches like to coach their team.
Yeah, but when do you stop? When do you stop?
They don't.
At what level do you stop, or they don't?
But they don't. Vincent Kompany told us the other day.
Against Madrid.
He will not change. Yeah. We all know that Luis Enrique will not change. Regardless if it was 4-0 or they were losing 4-0 or winning 4-0. That's why I said, yes, the winger were outstanding. But look at what also the fullbacks did bring to the two teams when they were going forward also. And yes, sometimes you're going to pay the price because you're not there. It's just how it is. Regardless of what I think, this is how they want to coach their team, and we have to respect that. But I surely did enjoy it.
Let's take a look at Bayern when they start to make their comeback into this game, make it 5-3 with Upamecano.
Yeah, from a set piece, wasn't it? Yeah, so listen, not great defensively from them, as I say, you can see the set piece, but again, it's a really good delivery, really flat, makes it really difficult for the goalkeeper. And Upamecano, as I said, when you think about his team conceding 5, and we're very critical of Upamecano, he wasn't probably give away a howl, but this goal is absolutely...
The pass from Kane. Go on, Jamie.
Is it very much a little Bergkamp like at Leicester away, that touch, the first touch from Luis Diaz?
Everything is Bergkamp, the pass.
Yeah.
Don't forget it was flanked offside as well, wouldn't it?
But to be the way control, and then to, sometimes when you're right in this type of situation, you're like, oh my God, I'm here. Yeah. The way he stayed relaxed to make sure he was going to dummy Marquinhos, recompose himself to finish. What a finish from Luis Diaz, I have to say.
Can we roll that again? Because it was such a splendid goal. I enjoyed it that much. The pass from Kane, the timing of a run from Diaz.
I think Kane, even as a centre-forward, is one of the best passers of a ball in the world.
Agreed. But then the composure, TT. So what's going through his head here then now? Just
one thing that people, I mean, he has the quality, we all know. One thing that people do forget is when you're in the box, you have the ball, so you are in control. The defender cannot do anything, so you have in bracket all the time in the world, football time, to be able to recompose yourself. And sometimes it happened to me also. You rush things just because you want to volley it after. No, put the ball down.
But can you learn that though? Is that a technical thing? And then, because you have to have composure at the end of it. Can you learn that, or is that just something
that
you...
Of course. Like I said to you, if you saw me play when I was young, you would have screamed. Because the amount of things I was doing, because I wasn't composed, I didn't realize that when you have the ball, you have time. He wants the ball. You have it. Calm down, recompose yourself. You're in the box. There's not a lot you guys can do when we entered the box. Yeah. You see how soon Marquinhos, instead of diving on him, he went back. He had to wait to see if he's going to shoot. No, obviously he's going to dummy shooting. You're going to buy it. He's in the box. Then you recompose yourself and finish. It's easy to say, now I'm sitting here. But that's what I'm saying. At that moment, it's 5-3. You receive that ball, you control it, you recompose yourself. You have time. You have more time than you think in the box.
So it gets to 5-4, and there were still more chances in this game. PSG hitting the bar, Micah, here?
Yes, it was Mayunu, wasn't it? He come on, made a really good run, and then the left foot just off the bar, though. But again, they kept going, didn't they? Really good pass by Vitinha, and then it looked like potentially they could add another, but wasn't meant to be. But they kept coming, didn't they?
And then just at the end, just to make sure that we didn't have enough, Pacho's clearing the ball off the line. I think it was Kimmich that nearly scored from a rebound in the box. I mean, that game had everything. Really, like, it's however you want to see it. This is why I say, do you keep your fullback in certain situations? You know what? It's 5-2. Do we keep our fullback here? Do we still go forward? It's total football. That's what you call total football. Everybody attacks, everybody defends. And like once again, I can only thank them. I hope we're going to have the same thing in München. In München.
You hope we will. Do you think we will?
The same as that?
Yeah.
No.
Who do you think will be more cautious?
Both. It's not about... I don't even know. I don't actually know. The ball will be more cautious, I think. Whoever wants it, I don't know. All I'm saying is it might be... It's not so much the score. I've seen games where... I've seen 5-4s. I've seen 3-3, 4-4, whatever. It's how the both team played. like they wanted to play eye to eye. I just love it. Are we gonna go and see that tomorrow? I don't know. I don't even hope so.
Peter Schmeichel said that he was going to get an interview for us. Micah requested that it would be with the studio. It's not.
Of course it's
He's
not.
spoken to Harry Kane. Here you go.
Harry, I don't know where you are in this, but we've just been watching the best game we've ever seen in the Champions League. We've been entertained. We've had 9 goals, and we've been asking the question: Who are the happiest? Are you the happiest for the result, or is it them?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be happy after a loss, that's for sure. We feel like we can win every game, and even today we felt like we could have won the game for sure. But when you're 5-2 down in a semi-final away from home, to show the type of character that we did, to claw our way back into the tie, and now essentially, yeah, we saw 9 goals today, but it's 1-0 going into the Allianz next week. So, yeah, crazy game. A lot happened, a lot to digest, and I think improve on. But overall, I think it leaves us with belief because you know, we scored 4 goals away from home. They have to come to the Allianz, and we have to yeah, try and make that our fortress next week.
Oh, career-defining season, this one, for Harry Kane.
Yeah, and you know what, I've been thinking about Harry Kane a lot because... Not for too long, OK, someone's in me here. I think if he could go on... I think he's getting close to being, or has been over a couple of years, one of the best players in the world, not just the best striker, he's more than a striker. But he's probably getting close to the end of his career. And when he gets to the end of his career, where would he be in terms of, like, the greatest English players of all time? He probably needs a couple of big trophies, really, to go alongside, you know, the absolute greats. But he's not far away. He's one of the best players I think this country has ever, or our country's ever produced.
I'd say, Lenny, as a manager was, could there be a message from Vincent coming at half-time? 3-2, we'll get back to Munich. That's a good result. Then it went to 5-2 up to PSG. I'm thinking, is there a message from Enrique to go 5-2, we're in the final, game over? But Lenny's right, this quality and the standard on show.
Well, they both back themselves.
Yeah, both back themselves, right? But it's world class. So the best form of defence is attack. And there's some, we mentioned before the game on, they've got some of the best attackers in the Champions League on show, both teams. And that was just an absolute treat to watch that.
Kenny?
Yeah. Don't be negative, Kenny. Don't be negative. Come on,
I've got to choose my words very carefully. No, I enjoyed.
We just turned Kenny's mic.
I enjoyed the game. No, I did enjoy the game. It was some outstanding individual performances. I agree with Neil in that respect. The 2 best attackers were Elise and Diaz. I think PSG played in small periods during the game, probably a 15-20 minute period in the first half. They opened a 15-minute period in the second half. I think they left a little bit out there, PSG. That's the scary thing from Bayern's point of view. I think there's more to come from this PSG team, because when they put it together, get that combination play going, and those individuals turn it on, they can blow anybody away. But it was interesting. It was the Bayern Munich players actually celebrated after the game as if they'd won the game, because that game was over at 5-2. Yeah, forget about kind of, you know, game management. You know, it doesn't exist. I thought there was some poor individual defensive errors on both teams, which should be spoken about as well, just to complement the good attack and play. But it was a wonderful game. I did enjoy it. But I do make PSG favourites over the 2 legs, because I just feel as if there's more to come. We didn't see them at their best tonight, and I feel as if they can still go to another level, PSG, and they're taking a goal lead into that second leg. So for me, it's slight favourites, PSG, going into the second leg.
It's not often you see a game of football like that, Shay. I mean, it's one of the best games I've ever seen. Yeah. What kind of confluence of factors led to what we've just seen there? Is it just 2 attack-minded teams, as you're saying, with players who can actually carry that out?
Attack-minded teams, but attack-minded managers as well. You know, we said before the game about Bayern the weekend, if the League won, they're 3-0 down at half-time, Vincent Kompany's gone and putting, you know, 2 big-name strikers on the pitch, and Kane and Elise, to win the game back. Again tonight, I would disagree with Kenny in the sense I fancy Bayern now going back to the Allianz Arena next week. I really do. I know they'll be extremely dangerous on PSG on the counter-attack and the pace they have up top. But again, going over to Munich in that arena, I said if they can keep a 1-goal deficit beforehand, they've got a great chance Bayern going to the final. And I do fancy Bayern to get to the final now. I think if we have any time after this break to look at the chances, I think Bayern has some big chances as well. And then maybe if you take them over in Munich
we've
next
got 9
week,
goals to get through, but we've a bit of time post-match. We'll try.
There's no way they're going to be phased. That's all I'd say.
I'm not saying they're going to be phased, but I just think at home Bayern will be even better.
Yeah, but I don't think that home advantage, crowd and all that. That might help Bayern Munich to a certain extent. But this PSG team, how they played when they came to England last year, in terms of how they dealt with Aston Villa, Liverpool and Arsenal, like, I mean, that showed you everything in terms of the mentality of that group. They can deal with those big occasions. They've proved it already.
I didn't think they played great, right?
PSG.
Yeah, and I thought
so you can't. So you're saying it's a great game.
Some of the players looked ordinary tonight. Like Mendes, for example. Olise had the better of Mendes on. Diaz give Hakimi as good as he gets.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of vulnerability there in PSG, but they still scored 5 goals, Owen. And Kenny's right. When they play in spurts, the power and the pace and the quality that they have is phenomenal. And when it went 5-2, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, without even breaking sweat. Yeah. You know, against Bayern Munich, one of the best teams in Europe, but somehow Munich got themselves back into the game with a set play. And then all of a sudden the psychology changed where Bayern Munich imposed themselves on PSG. So he's going PSG, he's thinking Munich. I don't know. I don't know.
You going extra time penalties?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that's why you've got to be careful when you throw terms like it was a great game, it was one of the best games I've ever seen. Well, in terms
why do you have to be careful with that?
But in terms of excitement, well, you've just said that wasn't a great PSG performance, but yeah, we're saying it was a great game. So I think when you start throwing statements like this was the best game I've ever seen, really both teams have to be at their optimum level in terms from collectively from an attacking point of view, and also I think from a defensive point of view.
You can't have both. You can't have like Olise having a brilliant game and Mendes, you know, having a brilliant game.
Yeah, but I think the great games have both. That's what I'm talking about.
Also, when there's 9 goals, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be like defensive errors. There's going to be all that.
So it can't be. By definition, it can't be a great game. If we're having that many mistakes on the pitch, people are making. No, it can't be. It can't be. It can't be a great game. A great attacking game.
What's a great game then?
When both facets at the game, both teams are playing at their optimal level. Yeah, exactly.
A 0-0?
Of course, a 0-0. I've mentioned it before.
Come on!
I would take the Juventus AC Milan European Cup final, Old Trafford 0-0 ahead of that game any day of the week.
I was at that.
How good was that game?
Benny,
rubbish.
You finish off.
Absolute rubbish. I nearly walked out.
I'm out of here.
I tell you,
finish off.
Gattuso got man of the match. That's how good it was.
Okay.